Hello, everyone. You are welcome to today's lesson. And in today's lesson, I am going to run you through the solution to the sequences and series class test. Okay, so quickly, let's go and look at what is not just the solution anyway, but the marking scheme okay, as well. Okay, my marking scheme. Okay, so this was the very first question. Okay, we're asked to find the limiting sum, which we know is the same as the sum to infinity of the sequence that we have here. So given you extract your sequence, which is exactly what we have here. So we are asked to find a sum to infinity. We need to put the formula. Sum to infinity we know is equal to A over 1 minus R. And you don't even need to, okay, check whether, okay, this is an AP or a GP. Okay, because we know that, okay, anytime you are asked to find the limiting sum, it means what we have there is likely to be, it's most likely and usually it will be a GP. Even with a GP, it will be the one that the sum will exist, the limiting sum, the sum to infinity will exist. So you go to the formula, then in this formula, you need your A, you need your R. So, but A is equal to N. Those of you who determine the sequence, you will do the R as your rough work. Okay, but I didn't do that. Okay, I knew per experience that this will be automatically a GP. So my A will be 1 and my R, I use only this. Okay, 2 terms to determine consecutive terms. So that will give me 1 over root of 2. But obviously, this is said, a fraction, of course, and I cannot leave a fraction containing a z in the denominator. So what do? I rationalize. So I did that mentally, and that gave me this. You can use your calculator, no issues. Okay, this one is just, okay, it's here that you don't use your calculator. So at this point, what do? We are going to write, therefore, your limiting sum, which is the sum to infinity, is equal to, you go and carry out your substitution, then you simplify. So you are going to get 1 over, okay, 1 minus, so you substituted your A, then what's your R? Okay, at this point, you have a fraction, okay, I mean, the whole of this one being divided by this. At a point, this division bar must change to the division symbol. And I said you can only do that, or you can only change, okay, when numerator, denominator, everything is a single fraction or it's a term. So before my numerator, it will be 1, a term. But after my division sign that I have there, I have to write this as a single fraction. So I take the LCM of this and simplify, and that will give, because this is over 1. Okay, and I believe you agree with me that this is over 1. So I'm going to get, okay, 1 will go into 2. How many times? 2 times 1. So that will be 2. Minus 2 will go into 2, 1 times root of 2. So that will give me this. Before and after my division symbol, just what? A term. So brackets will not be necessary. Okay, the purpose is to remove operation, not to introduce operation. So if you wrote this, okay, let me flow, I'll come to the penalties. Okay, so at this point, okay, let me even say it before somebody will award himself or herself that mark. If you write this, 1 divided by 1 minus root of 2 over 2, you are wrong if you don't put this in brackets. It will be M0, and everything will be A0. Take note of that.
Oh, Mr. Akman.
Take note of that. I've been saying this when I started teaching you in KG1. Okay, so if you are still doing this mistake, then you should know. That's why I have to. If you don't take care, if I see it when I'm going through, I will deduct double marks. All right. Okay, it's because I've told you order of operation, we did it. Okay, and we've gone beyond this. So you were supposed to make me proud, you didn't. So it will be M0, A0. So at this point, marking becomes very easy. No sympathy when we are marking. No marks for sympathy. Okay, so now what do we have? We are going to simplify. Unfortunately, our result here, this will give us 1 over any fraction is the reciprocal of the fraction. So that will be the same as 1 times 2 over this, which will give us what we have here. So this is equally perfect. Unfortunately, you can't end here because you don't leave a fraction containing a z in the denominator. So if you end here, you are going to lose the entire mass that will follow. Okay, so at this point, what do? This calls for rationalization. So you write it this again, then you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by, okay, this. the conjugate of the denominator, which will give us this. Then again, you know that anytime you multiply and send and its conjugate, the denominator will always give us this difference of 2 squared. Don't go and distribute. Your numerator will be 2 times this, which is 4, 2 times this, which will give you 2 roots of 2. Okay, then after that, okay, numerator intact, the denominator, you come and remove the squares. So you get 2 squared, which is 4, then minus root of 2 squared, which is 2. So at this point, the denominator can be simplified. So your numerator left intact, the denominator 4 minus 2 will give you 2. But you know, unless otherwise stated, okay, what you have here is supposed to be expressed as a single fraction, which it is, but this single fraction you can further simplify because 2, 4, 2, you have a common factor. You can factor out 2 and cancel, or better still, you can take each of the terms and divide by 2. So this over 2 will give you 2. This over 2, the 2 will cancel, so you get root of 2, and that becomes your final answer. So that will be it for the solution for A. Okay, any questions before I move on to that of the B? So take note of the marks allotted to each of the steps that you have there. Okay, and the penalties that I mentioned there as well. Okay, all right. So now B, this question, okay, Prof. Samuela.
Sir Hackman, please, so from the part where you said if you do not keep it in a bracket, all that side is wrong.
So if it is from here that you wrote this, then it will be M0, A0, because if you write it this way, okay, going forward, you shouldn't come and get the same answer as this, because this one means it's only the one here that is being divided by 1. So the result shouldn't be the same as this. You get it? So per what you have here, the result shouldn't be the same. You've lost your way. So if you come and find your way, then it's no longer math. It is magic. And I'm not a magician. Okay, so I cannot relate with, okay, magic stuff. I can only relate with what math stuff, okay, because I'm a mathematician. You get the point. But I've told you, before you change the division bar to the division symbol, make sure what you are going to write before and after will just be a term. Okay, other than that, the meaning will change. So immediately you write, you realize that it is not just a term, then it means you have to put this in brackets to maintain the original meaning. But I have told you, this is a cure anyway, only that the purpose of what BODMAS is to remove operation. And if you do this, you have introduced operation brackets. Take note. So take note of this. You are learning. Okay, I know it's painful, but fortunately for you, this is not WASSCE. Okay, your semester exams where it will be very costly to appear on your transcripts and what have you. Okay, so in this case, we are learning so that where it really matters or it matters most, you won't do such mistakes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So now this is what we do. B, you are giving, okay, we dealt with only 0 point something. We never dealt with what, I mean, yes, where you have a whole number then, okay, the same concept, just separate the whole number and the decimal. That's the first step. So if you extract this, you have this one low angle mark. Then you know that is the same as 3 plus 0.2121 recurring. Is my point well made? Okay, you know how to write this one, okay, out. Okay, and remember, we're asked to write this as an infinite series, then we are supposed to find the sum. So that's the first part, as an infinite series. So it will be 3 plus 0.21, okay, then plus 0 point now, the 21 recurring immediately after the decimal point. So your next one, the 21 here, placed with 2 zeros, then you introduce 21 again. Then plus 3 times will be okay. The next one, the 21 here will place with 0, then you introduce 21, then plus your ellipses. Please take note. So M1, A1. Some of you will write this before you come and draw your conclusion. So if you write this before you draw your conclusion, the M1 will be given at that point. Then when you draw your conclusion, you get the A1. Is that clear? But those who will draw the conclusion at that particular point, you get all that you have there together. So let me finish with the P2, then I will give you opportunity to ask questions from Karen. Okay, please hold on. So now the second part, I've told you when you read question underline. And so if you have done that, this one too, we're supposed to underline this. Okay, so hence, okay, I know that this will be equal to 3.2121 recurring will be equal to 3 plus, here it will be sum to infinity of this, because you can see that it is this that is forming a geometric sequence, a sequence. There is a pattern that you can follow. So it will be 3 plus the sum to infinity of what you have there. Okay, so that will be equal to 3 plus sum to infinity formula is A over 1 minus R. So that will give you B1. Then A is equal to, so I, instead of writing that A is equal to, I decided to write it, okay, just beside what I have here. So A is equal to 21 over 100, okay, and R is equal to 1 over 100. And remember, I said, because you are supposed to write this in the form of A and B, if possible, start working with fractions rather than decimals. However, I said you can use decimal along the line, your conclusion, you cannot conclude with a decimal because of the form. So at this point, to be 3 plus, okay, A is 21 over 100 over 1 minus R. R is 1 over 100. So you know the rest will just be algebra. So what do we do? If you move on, we are going to get 3 plus 21 over 100 divided by 99 over 100. So that will give you 3 plus 21 over 100 times, okay, 100 over 99. This will cancel. Okay, we are going to get 3 plus 21 over 99. Okay, and here, straight away, you can get your mixed numbers. A whole number plus a fraction, which is proper, will give you the whole number, then you attach the fraction, the proper fraction. So this will give us 3 whole number, 21 or 99. Okay, then, okay, you know you cannot conclude with this. But for the form, would have concluded with mixed numbers. But the form here, we said A over B. So you change this one to its corresponding improper fraction. Then what do? You compare and attach the values here. Please, if you end here and you don't attach the values A0, before you get the A1 here, you must compare and attach the value. You should read exactly what you have here. Anything missing, it will be A0. Is my point well made? Okay, so now we go and look at that of the C. Okay, C, they are asked to this where, okay, I think most of you, okay, wrote a lot. You couldn't, okay, study the pattern and see how best you can ideally deal with it. Okay, so this is what you were given. We were asked to find the summation of 5n minus 1, n starting from 1 and ending at what, 20. So our lower limit 1, upper limit, okay, of the sum, okay, is what, 20. So this means wherever I see n in this, I replace it with 1, 2, up to what, 20. Okay, but obviously you can see that that would be a whole hell of a time. Okay, so I'll work. So now, first one, 5 times 1 minus 1. Okay, 5 into 2 minus 1. Okay, 5 into 3 minus 1. So then plus your last term will be 20. So here, I was not asked to write this in full. So I can, okay, be smart and introduce ellipses to bring in the terms or cater for the terms that I don't want to write. So you know your first term, second term, third term, and you also know your last term because your last term n must be equal to 20. So plus ellipses. So it's not an infinite, okay, series or sequence. Take note because you know the upper limit. So this gives us 9 if you simplify. This gives us, 4 if you simplify. This gives us 9 if you simplify. The third term here gives us 14 if you simplify. And the last term will give us 99. So if you study this carefully, you see that just the 3 terms will guide you. Okay, you are dealing with series, all right, but you can see that out of every series, there is a sequence. So 4, 9, 14. Let me check the type of sequence. So 9 minus 4, 5. 14 minus 9, 5. So it means I'm dealing with an AP with a common difference of 3. So it means if I'm asked to find the sum here, okay, I am asked to find the sum of the first 20 terms because the first term is 1, the second term n will be 2 up to 20. And you should have been able to see this. This is the only note in the question. So in actual fact, we are asked to find S sub 20. So S sub 20, what are we supposed to do? We know the first term and the last term. So what do? We use this formula, A plus L. So those of you who put the formula, okay, in terms of letters, you will get the B1 there before you come and get your M1 here. If you quoted the formula with these values, okay, not the general one, you will still get your B1, M1 because the formula is quoted here as well. Only that you quoted the formula in particular rather than general, using particular element. So if you simplify, you are going to get what you have here. Any question at this point? Okay, somebody's hand was up and I told her to hold on.
Yes,
So,
please.
Should I go back?
Mr. Hackman, please let's move to question 1B.
Okay, I have.
Start from there. So, Mr. Hackman, what if you wrote 3 plus 2.1 as the first term of your series?
3 plus
Would
what?
you still get the mark?
3 plus
3.21 as your first term
the first term is what? 3
instead of the 3 plus 10.
3.21 as your
I
first
said, what
term.
if you wrote yes, please.
Okay, please, this cannot be
Then the next term was 0.1.
0
Okay.
point.
It's fine.
It's fine. I guess you've seen the
Then the
light.
following term.
Did you say it's fine?
No, please.
Okay, all right. So the next step would be what? 0 point. No, the next term. I want to know the next.
0.0021.
0 was 21. Okay, you
Yes.
can you can proceed that way. Okay, and but your first term will change. You get it. Your common ratio will
So
also
you
be
still get
different.
the mark for that, please.
If you continue, you will get what the same result. However, you always separate the whole number in the decimal. So when you are separating, don't separate it with a whole number with a decimal together. Is that clear?
Okay.
Because at this point, you know that, okay,
Yes,
I know
please.
you can choose not to use your calculator. So you are going to get 321 over 100 there. Then you come and add whatever that you get, which will be a little more work for you. So always separate the whole number part. If the whole number is not 0, okay, then the other terms will involve the decimal part. Is that clear?
Yes, please. So would you still get the mark for this?
And I'm saying that for now, I will be
writing
lenient
this
because I did it.
like this?
Okay, so if you continue, you end up getting the same result. You mark it. If you had the same result, I will go through and see if there were issues. Is that okay? But for now, I will take it because I didn't teach you the whole number one, and I was expecting you to. Okay, so I gave you somehow, some way, the short end of the stick, but you can deal with it. Okay, Prof. Samuela.
Thank you.
Mr. Hackman, please, can you move to the next slide?
Okay, so the next one.
Sir, please, I ended that, therefore, this expression is equal to 1030.
Which one? This one.
Sir, this place, that therefore, after this is an AP. So I ended that, therefore, this expression is equal to 1030.
So it means for you, because of what I taught you, you write all the terms. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So no issues. If you wrote all the terms, you write more. It just time that will deal with you for me. So you get the entire marks here. So if this is 8 marks, you get your 8 marks.
Okay, sir.
You get the point. Okay, now check. Okay, how you are going to. Remember, in all, you are going to get 28. Now look at the bonus mark before you get the bonus mark. Okay, so the bonus mark, if you score, okay, 27 and 28, you get the bonus mark of 2. If you score 26, okay, or 26.5 and 26.5, okay, you didn't write this, so 26.5. you will get the bonus mark of 1. Is my point well made?
No,
Yes,
please.
sir.
Okay, so the entire
Mr.
score
Hackman.
here, is supposed to be 28. So if you sum your mark and you had, okay, maybe 25, you won't get any bonus mark. So the bonus mark, the 2, you can't get anything out of the bonus mark. But if you score 27, 28, you get the 2 marks. So it means if you score 27, your total marks will be 29. You add 2 to 8. If you score 28, your total marks will be 30. You add 2 to 8. If you score 26, okay, or 26.5, you get a bonus mark of 1. So if you score 26, your entire mark will be 27 because you add 1 to it, a bonus mark of 1. If you score 26.5, you get a bonus mark of 1. So that will take you to 27.5. Is that clear? Is it clear now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Prof. Adoma.
Mr. Hackman, please, the C. What if you use the long method?
That's what somebody just asked. And I said you get the same marks, only that the marks distribution will change. Okay, you will do more work in terms of your writing. So you will write all the terms here, later use your calculator to sum it. You get the 8 marks in it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, please.
Okay, only that next time when you study the pattern in the first 3, okay, if we're not asked to write it in full, get the last one. If you can get the last one and use this approach, it's usually better. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I guess I can move on to, okay, the next, okay, question. Let me. Hello, Samuela. Prof. Samuela.
Sir, please. I'm still not getting the A. The previous slide.
The A.
Yes, sir. You said if you didn't bring the bracket. Sir, so does it mean only that side is for M0 and the next?
No, immediately is M0. Everything under, okay, will be 0. So M0,
Okay.
A0. That's how you mark.
Okay.
So immediately M0, that's why I said M0, immediately this method, you know that the next method will rely on this. So if this method is wrong, automatically the rest must be wrong. You get it? Other than that, so it means mathematically you are wrong. Okay, so that's why I said marking becomes very easy. So M0, don't come and write anything here. Your final answer here, write A0. For everything here will be M0, M0, M0. So instead of writing M0, M0 here, M0 here, then A0, that's all. Okay, Prof. Lynette.
Mr. Hackman, please, the B. What if you read 3 points, like the first term was 3.21 plus 0.0021?
Oh, but someone just asked this question. And I said, mark
But
it, only that.
the same answer.
You didn't get the same answer.
Yes, please.
You should. Only that your whole number part will be a fraction. That will give you 3, 2, 1, okay, over, what do you get it? Okay, so that will give you over 100 or so. Then plus your first term, I think I wrote it somewhere. Was it not here? It's here. Your first term will be this. If you go that route, your first term will be this. Then it will be plus. Your next term will be 0.002. Sorry, it will be 0.0021. Then plus
But
what?
I brought 3.
You brought what?
Before the point. 3 before the point.
So, oh no, it should, okay, I'm saying that it should read like what I have here. Is it reading like this?
No, please.
Okay, then it means what you wrote here will be wrong. So it will be M0, A0. You get it?
Yes, please.
All right, so take notes, okay, of that. However, this is how it's supposed to read. Okay, the next one, they need, so if you write it this way, your first term is going to be this. However, your common ratio will be this one divided by this. So that's what, however, but I told you the best approach is to, okay, separate the whole number and the decimal part. Don't separate with what? The decimal together with the whole number. You get it? So going forward, anytime you see questions of this nature, that's how you deal with it. All correct. Okay. And what answer did you get? You said you didn't get the same answer. Please, what answer did you get, Prof. Lynette?
I got 11,449 over 231.
You see, okay, and you concluded like that. In this situation, if you are wrong, you should know. So that fraction that you have there, just press equal to and see if it will give you this. If it doesn't give you this, then it means there is something wrong. Then you go back and check. You get it? You should find ways of protecting your marks, especially where you know that the question is not the usual way that you see it, and you are trying to maneuver your way around. After maneuvering your way around, check whether maybe what you have done, just confirmation. Okay, my answer there, my manipulation, did I do kululu to get it? Okay, or you know, I did the right thing. Let me check, confirm my answer. So if it is the same, then you know that maybe you did something right, okay, along the line, or were right, so you continue. Otherwise, you go back and check where the problem was. You get it?
Yes, please.
So you had a second chance to correct yourself, which you didn't. Okay, so now I think question 1 gone. Will I be able to answer, deal with question 2? Wow, okay. So I think we have to, because I wanted us to finish marking this. Okay, this is question 2. So let me explain question 2, finish explaining question 2. That one is a familiar question. Maybe in our next meeting to do the next 2. So we are going to mark, okay, parts. Okay, so this is what we have, question 2. The sum of the first n terms of a series is this. So you'll be given S sub n. Okay, all right. Okay, Samuela, okay. I don't know whether you were communicating with me. So you quote this. And remember, I told you, anytime you have your S sub n factorized, okay, expand. Okay, that is very critical to always make your work very easy. So here, if you look at the question asks us to find the first 3 terms of the sequence. Okay, then after that, okay, show that there. So when I see show in any question, I have to underline. Remember, because the conclusion must take a particular, okay, wording. Find the n term of the series, okay. So U sub 1, U sub 2, U sub 3, the first 3 terms. If I know U sub n, I can find this U sub, so I can find C first. The order in which I answer this question doesn't really matter. So I can find my n term because I know S sub n. If I know my n term formula, I can use it to find, okay, that. So at that point, I decided to do C first. So you know that U sub n is equal to S sub n minus S sub n minus 1. You know S sub n, that is given, but you don't know S sub n minus 1. Fortunately, we know how to find that. Once we know the general, okay, function for the S. So we go and substitute, we expand this, which will give us what we have here. Then finally come and move or multiply through by the 8, which gives us what we have here. After that, we combine like terms, which will give us this. Okay, so therefore your U sub n, remember we said it will be S sub n, and S sub n is this, minus, okay, S sub n minus 1, which is this. You put the whole of that in bracket. If the bracket is not there, you get M0. Take notes, and it will be M0, A0. Okay, so at this point, you remove the bracket here, combine like terms. So this will be 8 for your U sub n. That's the formula for U sub n. Then now that you know U sub n, you are more than, okay, capable of finding the U sub 1, U sub 2, U sub 3. So U sub 1 will mean wherever I see n in U sub n, I replace it with 1. That's what we have here. U sub 2, wherever I see n in U sub n, I replace it with what? With 2. So this is what you have when you simplify. And the last one, U sub 3, wherever I see n in U sub n, I substitute for 3 there, and I simplify, and that will give me this. Okay, and take notes, we come and look at the P. P, we're supposed to show, okay, that the series was linear. So the sequence, I extracted it in terms of sequence. You could have as well extracted that as 4 plus 20 plus 36 plus ellipses, and that would be in terms of series. Okay, now for this sequence, okay, and therefore the series, to give you, okay, a linear or an AP, you should have a common difference. So just find the difference between consecutive terms. So 20 minus 4 will be equal to 30 minus 20, which is what? 2. Hey, did I write? Let me see. What happened? Is it supposed to be 2?
No, please.
No, it's supposed to be, I don't know how I wrote the 2.
16.
It's 16. I don't know how I wrote the 2. So please take note. 16. So in any case, the D will be the same. So the series is a linear sequence as required. This is very important, your conclusion here. Therefore, the series is a linear sequence. I will use this one to draw my conclusion and attach as required because I was asked to show. Point well made, my professors. Okay, so any questions at this point? Any questions? Okay, Prof. Ama.
Mr. Ackman, please, what if you didn't do it like this? Like, you didn't start from C, but like, you did the same method. Then after that, you used it to find for U1, U2, and U3. But when you got to the C part, you started this whole process again.
You started the
Like,
process again.
You use the sequence to find for the UN again.
So that you can see that once you found UN, okay, so it means you didn't prove further. You are just writing and you are wasting your time. Once you know UN, why do you go and find UN again? You get it?
Yes.
So you are now going to write that this is an AP. For an AP, okay, U sub n is equal to, you end up getting the same U sub. True or false?
True.
So you do double work. Okay, only that it will be time wasted, but all that we have there will be there. Only that you will have more, which we don't need.
So will I still get my marks?
Yeah, you get your marks. Only that is the time that it's your own time that you wasted. So all that we have here, you see it there. So give yourself those marks. Anything that you see there.
Okay, and so last one. So for the B, what if you wrote the sequence by your conclusion? You wrote that the sequence, therefore the sequence is linear since there's a common difference, which is 16.
Okay, yes, you need to write that, but as required must come. If there is no as required, I won't give you the A1 because remember I told you that in every show question, what are you supposed to attach?
As required.
As required. So I need to train you the right way. So unfortunately, okay, I think let me give you half. No, I won't be lenient because this one you know. No, I won't be lenient. It will be A0. It will be A0. I won't be lenient. This is very important. So that next time, okay, you will be very careful. Okay, so now the bonus marks, Ishira and Co, I'm coming. I've not given you. So the bonus mark, okay, the total must be 20. Okay, the total plus a bonus mark of 2. But if you scored 19 or 20, you get the bonus mark of 2. However, if you scored, let me say 18 up to, let me say 17 up to 18.5. Let me put it that way. Up to 18.5. Okay, you get the bonus mark of 1. Is that okay? I hope my point is well made. So if you scored 19, okay, it will be plus 2, and that will be 21 out of 22. Okay, all right. Prof. Ishira.
Mr. Hackman.
Yes, please.
I didn't do that. I found S1, then I found S2, then I found S3, then I
it's allowed. Then you should know that you don't want to deal with it. It's allowed. It's well allowed. So that's another way. You find S1, S2, but you know that U1 will be equal to S2 minus S1. It's allowed. Indirectly, you are using, okay, what you have there. It's allowed.
Then I found C separately.
Okay, so it's allowed. Okay, so give your marks, okay, I mean yourself the marks that you see this. That's why I've written the totals there. So check whether your answers are the same. Okay, but your approach different. no issues. Once your answers are the same, okay, and you didn't do anything wrong mathematically, okay, you need to give yourself, okay, the total mass that you have there. Is that clear? Okay. Okay, so let me see the others whose hands are up. Okay, so Amma, do you still have a question? Okay, Kofi, Prof. Kofi.
Yeah, for the A, what if you didn't expand the S sub n, the sum of n?
No issues. You have to substitute anyway. Only that because I want to encourage you to do the right thing. Okay, if you didn't expand, I won't give you the M1 there. You will lose this.
All right.
Okay, but you know, we well understood that if you substitute directly here, it will be, okay, I mean, your work will not look beautiful. So always expand. I don't know if you get my point. Okay, so if you didn't expand and you substituted, you did the right thing, you had exactly what is here, that's okay. So that's very fine. So at this point, okay, if you don't have further questions, I am bringing the curtains down so that you can go and prepare for. Yes, please, Amma, is that you? Prof. Amma, is that you? Inshira, your hand is still up. Is it the old one or a new one? Okay. All right. Amma, so please hold on. Don't send your work yet. Okay, until it's complete. We'll complete the marking, God willing. Okay, I think we have on Thursday. We'll complete the marking.